Hi there friends, I hope you are doing well and you're keeping safe. So today I am going to be showing you how to make this delicious chocolate chip loaf cake. It's absolutely yummy and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so we'll start off by combining all the dry ingredients. So here you see me adding the salt and the baking powder to the flour. And next, what you want to do is whisk that together thoroughly until you have all the dry ingredients well incorporated. You don't want chunks of baking powder in some parts of the flour. So next, you want to add your vanilla extract into your milk. So here you see I have homemade vanilla extract. So mix that into the milk thoroughly. Next, you want to add your butter, room temperature butter, and sugar into a bowl. And then you want to whisk that thoroughly until it's light and fluffy. So here you'll see I'm scraping down the bowl. You want to do that to make sure that you're getting all of that butter and sugar. And then you want to crack in your eggs one at a time. It's very important that your eggs are at room temperature as well, so that way your batter doesn't curdle or break. So here I'm putting in the second egg, and I'm going to whisk that thoroughly again until the egg is well combined and it's looking nice and fluffy, before I then go again and add the third egg. So here it's looking really nice. So the egg helps to combine the mixture and also adds a lot of flavor and moisture into your batter. So here again you want to add the third egg and then whisk that thoroughly until it's completely combined. You see it's looking light and airy at this point. Always scrape down the side of your bowl to make sure that you get all of that mixture, well whisked evenly. Next, you want to add a third of your flour. So what we're going to do is going to alternate the flour and the milk as we add it into the batter. So what this does is that it helps the milk to get well incorporated into the batter, and also it helps reduce the amount of mixing you have to do while you're making this cake, because over mixing again toughens your batter. You don't want that to happen. So you alternate. So you add a third of the flour, you mix that thoroughly, then you add half of your milk vanilla mixture, and you want to whisk that in. And then once you whisk it thoroughly, you add another third of your flour. And if you notice, you'll see that every time I add the flour, I mix it in using my spatula. That is so that I reduce the amount of mixing I'm doing. So here again, I'm adding a third of the flour, and then I'll use my spatula to just kind of fold that in. Also, that helps me to just scrape the side of the bowl, while I add the flour into the batter. So you just want to mix that in until just incorporated, and then next you'll add the rest of your milk. Right, so scrape that down and then add the rest of your milk. And then once you add the milk, you want to whisk that using your hand whisk. So just whisk until it's just incorporated. You don't want to overmix your batter, because you want your cake to be light and fluffy. So just a quick whisk, and then you add the rest of your flour, and then mix that in with your spatula as well. So here you see I'm using my spatula again. So you want to just fold that in until it's just incorporated, just like that. And you'll see some patches. That's fine. You'll get all of that when you finally mix the batter one last time with your hand mixer. So scrape that down. And it's always important that you scrape the bottom of your bowl to make sure there are no lumps or dry ingredients stuck to the bottom of your bowl. So here I'm giving you just one last quick whisk to make sure everything is well incorporated and there are no lumps. And then I'll scrape down the bowl finally. Right, there you go. So you see the batter is nice and it's creamy, very well incorporated. I'm just going to take off the whisks from my hand mixer, and we're good. So just scrape down the side of your bowl, scrape that down thoroughly. Make sure there are no lumps, make sure there's no dry ingredients at the bottom of your bowl. And next we're going to add in the chocolate chip. So I'm adding a bit of the dark chocolate chip and a bit of the white chocolate chip. So you want to just leave a little bit in your bowls. We're going to use the leftovers to top off your loaf when you finally pour the batter into your prepared loaf pan. So just mix that in until your chocolate chips are, well distributed in the batter. Next, you want to pour your batter into a prepared loaf pan. So here I have lined my loaf pan with some parchment paper. So that will ensure that once the cake or the loaf is baked, it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. So just even that out, make sure the batter is rich, gets into the edges of your pan, and then top it off with your leftover chocolate chips. So here I'm using a big mix of dark chocolate chips and white chocolate chips. You can use all dark if you prefer. You can use all white if you prefer, you know, whatever works for you. So next, just make sure, remember, you take off the clips. So I use those to hold the parchment paper up, and then you want to put that in the oven to bake until it's well baked and a toothpick comes out cleanly. So I'll have the ingredients and brief instructions in the description field below. If you need more information about how I made this loaf cake, make sure to check out my website at parily.com. I hope you try this recipe, you'll enjoy it, your family will enjoy it. You take care, and I will see you next time. Bye.